Hello, everybody, and welcome to the last one-shot version of the Neverending Train. I am Kai, your DM, and would our three wonderful players like to introduce themselves from the top down? You can tell it's 9 a.m. I'm still asleep. Draw?
Hello, I'm Drawotion, and today I'll be playing as Natha, my big, fluffy rogue, who is accompanied by a young mimic named Bubsy.
We love Bubsy.
We love one mimic.
B?
Hi, I am playing Eos, as always, my little 1.5 foot tall cat rogue. My brain just stopped computing for a second there.
I think it's going to be one of those days for all of us.
It's one of those days.
And last but not least...
Alright, I'm Luna. I'm playing Zelda, my feral tiefling. And she too is a rogue. So we have a theme for our last one shot.
This is gonna be great. The fact that I completely forgot that Natha was a rogue as well. So I'm just like, oh, okay, we've got an all rogue game. Now I need to decide if I want to change up the game again really quickly into no, I'm not. I'm sticking with what I
Yeah, you wouldn't think about that Natha is a rogue just by looking at her.
No, I can't remember. I don't even remember what I was thinking, but it wasn't her. Anyway. Before we get into this game, I do just want to check up and see how all your characters are doing, because it's been a while since we've seen each of them. And, it's up to you guys how far they've traveled since then and how their mental state is doing, because depending on their mental state, it's going to feel more time or less time that they've been on the train. So, Natha, how have you been?
Well, she is so confused. What the heck is going on?
Oh, mood.
At this point, she has been to other couple of carriages.
Mm-hmm.
But it has been felt like it has been a few days, and she's like, "Am I still tripping balls? Am I what?"
Oh, fair enough.
At this point, she is probably just lying down somewhere with Bubsy on her chest. Just
perpetual
She's
confusion.
trying to make sense of this situation.
I love this. No, honestly, being just baffled and confused by the train is probably the best way to go about it, considering this place. Yeah, in that case, as you may be sitting down, lying down somewhere, but maybe your stomach starts growling and there's no food nearby, but you will have managed to work out that going through the doors seems to kind of reset things, so you're no longer tired, you're no longer hungry, so, grabbing onto Bubsy and go through the next door to arrive in this next place. And before I do a big description, we will go on to Eos. How have you been?
Well, it's only been a few carriages, I would assume, but it's been slow. I'll tell you that much. I nearly killed. It kind of drags things out and leaves you in a little bit of a spiral.
Just a little bit. Oof.
Just a tiny bit. But he keeps going because that's the kind of person he is.
He kind of doesn't have much choice. It's just gotta keep.
No, not really.
Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, so with the weight of an almost murder hanging over your head, and you don't know, it might have been a complete murder, you never got to see the person alive again. You just know that a box kind of picked him up and took them away. You don't know if it was a dead body or what? No, never mind. Sorry, I'm just trying to make it so much worse for you here. But yes, you continuing the travels, you go through the next door, and I think, Eos, you should arrive first. You arrive in this dark room that seems both reasonably small and infinitely large, just because you can't see the corners of the room at all. It's just kind of everything fading out into black. And in the center of the room is a ball a large ball kind of floating in midair with a spotlight on it, and that's the only light in the room. Do you want to roll perception, and I can maybe give you a little bit more detail here?
Yeah, I can roll perception. Let me find my perception thing. Oh, that's right. He has a +7. Shit.
What? This was a mistake making you arrive first.
It was a mistake. Where's there? There it is. I found it.
You got the right channel?
I found the right channel eventually.
Okay. Always good.
Alright.
Just roll it in all these other assorted channels until you get the right one with hopefully a good enough score.
Pretty much. There we go.
14. Alright, that's not too bad. With a 14, yeah, you kind of take a couple of steps closer to this strange thing because you notice that parts of it are kind of shiny, parts of it dull, and you take a closer look and it seems to be blue with like little white wispy bits all around it. And you take a closer look and no, the white wispy bits aren't on it, they're hovering just a tiny bit above it. And now you kind of go, I gotta ask, how familiar are you with like geography and astronomy and shit?
He'd probably have some knowledge. He's probably experienced some time in his life, but whether he remembers it or not is the next question.
I will leave that up to you, whatever to bring up whenever you like. Then, I will say, out of character, what you are looking at is a globe, a very realistic globe with clouds moving over it and the spotlight that's on it, kind of mimicking the sun. It doesn't match up with any maps of the world that you know of, but this looks like a planet. And with a 14, I will also say you get a glimpse out of the corner of your eye that at one point just underneath where the globe is floating, there seems to be a strange little silver device. But before you get a chance to poke at it, Zelda, how are you doing?
I have been well. Things have been chaotic in the past few carriages I've gone through, and I'm still continuing my search for Daz and Loopsy, my original carriage companions, which has not been of luck yet.
Little do you know, they're still searching for you as well, but for now you're on your own. Yeah, so you've just been traveling through the carriages, not doing great, but not doing atrocious?
Yeah, it's not taking a huge toll, but as more things happen and the carriage continues, it's just going to keep going.
Yeah. Just like problem after problem, carriage after carriage, there you go, and you stumble out into this next one at the same time as Natha. So you both kind of walk out at the door at the same time, and I will, without you guys doing a perception roll, I will say you see dark room, strange ball under a spotlight, and this little cat inspecting the strange ball.
I know this little cat.
Zelda does know this little cat. I, however, am fascinated by this bowl, so I'm just going to keep staring at this. What a fascinating little bowl with white wispy clouds.
How big is this bowl, and is it on the floor?
It is floating in midair, and it's about 2 foot diameter, so it's a reasonably big ball.
Good. Just making sure.
Bigger than me, so...
I have to ask, since Natha and Zelda, they kind of came out of the door at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Are they beside each other?
Yes, they are. I will say, Natha, this is the first other person that you've encountered coming out of a door since your arrival on this train.
I'm gonna say, Natha her attention actually first goes to this little cat at the globe. Babsy, on the other hand, notices the new person besides and starts growling.
Hello.
I guess I'm turning around and hissing.
Wow!
Like, growl at me!
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, when did you get beside me? Who
About
are you?
the same time you came up beside me. So you were in my last carriage.
When did either of you get here?
You know,
know.
I wish I knew, but I don't know what is going on here. And at this point, I'm not trying to figure it out anymore.
It's Cannon Cat. I remember you.
It's Toad. Zane?
Right,
Wow.
first letter.
Zelda. And as I recall, there's when you have multiple first names.
Yes. That means yes. But today we shall go by Abigail. Abigail sounds nice.
Pleasure to meet you, Abigail. Except I've got no one there to meet you. It's just you three.
I found a ball. I actually reached the ball from the ground. Like, how high from the ground is it?
Okay, you've got like the small little silvery stand underneath it, which is about a foot tall. You've got a foot of space, and then you've got the globe. So like you would be able, yeah, you could touch it if you reach up. But it is like going to be a bit of a stretch for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna touch the mystery ball.
Okay, please tell me, how do you touch it? Are you like poking it? Are you putting your whole hand down, or
just a gentle one finger poke?
Okay, can you give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Oh no!
Oh dear.
I'm not good at const saves. Oh no!
Good luck.
I have a flat con save. Here we go.
That's 5.
Oh,
Okay, that's amazing. All right. I'm going to say Eos or Abigail or whatever other names you're going to come up with over the course of this session. You basically just get this moment where you feel like you are stretched way too much and squished in really, really tiny all at once. And it's very sickening and very dizzying because you've just suddenly gone into like super speed and weirdly stretched and shrank and everything, and you have no idea what's going on. You just know that like you double over on like you double over, hands on the ground, and they're on grass for some reason. Oh no, not thinking about that. You're too nauseous. For Zelda and Natha, what you guys see is this little cat has just oh shit, Discord's frozen. Can you guys still hear me? Because Sorry, Discord just froze on me for a second. Could you still hear me?
No, you cut out, sadly.
Yep, okay. Like, alright. Zelda, I'll start from the beginning of that a little bit. Zelda and Natha, what you see is this little cat basically reaches up, pokes the globe, and then you get this bit of them stretching and shrinking and basically just going zoop and vanishing into that spot on the globe that they just poked.
Oh.
What? Nava is gonna walk closer and look at this spot and not touch it, just looking at it like confused, like, huh?
Just like
I'm
looking
gonna
at it.
come over and put my hands around my mouth and go, Abigail, can you hear us?
Can I get a perception check from both Abigail and Natha, please?
Okay.
Let's see.
Perception. Okay.
Okay, that's a 13 from Eos. With your ridiculous +7, gods.
That's
And
the only thing saving at this point.
and a 13 from Natha. Okay, we'll go with Natha first. You are looking really close, like really, really close. You can't actually see where this strange little cat went, but as you are looking, you kind of see continents, and you can see forests and green and mountains and everything on this, and you can't see like individual trees or anything, but you can see swathes of, oh yeah, that looks like a forest just from a different angle. Eos, sorry, the fact that you changed names is going to trip me up continuously.
Every time.
You're doing this solely to confuse me as a DM. Eos, it takes you a couple of seconds to recover because that was not a fun journey. That was not fun. But you were kind of on your hands and knees on some like grassland surrounded by a couple of like speckled, like some trees just spotted about. You seem to be on like the edge of some woods, maybe. This is definitely not the rather black and boring and bland room that you were just in before. This seems to be, legitimate outdoor environment.
I have been fooled by this once. I'm putting my ear to the ground. Do I hear the train?
No, you don't. However, you do hear, out of your ear that is not on the ground, Zelda calling for you.
Zelda! Zane! Where are you?
I don't like Zelda. Is Zelda and Natha? You can actually hear Abigail yelling back out at you guys. It sounds really, really tiny though.
Oh my god!
I'll try and get my eye up real close without touching it, trying to see if I can spot a teeny tiny cat somewhere. Like, I can't see you.
It's too small. I will tell you, like, you have to roll like
to me.
You have to roll like a 17 or above to be able to see. But like for now, at least you can yell at each other.
I can't see you. I found grass though.
I haven't seen grass in a while.
That's not on a train. There's no train sounds. It's like choo-choo,
That's because you're in a globe.
You're in a globe.
I mean, maybe.
Not like you know where the train is.
Exactly. I'm gonna look around the rest of the room.
Yeah, sure. Roll me perception then.
Will do. Perception.
14. Yeah, you get like exactly the same as I told Eos about before. It's basically the room is kind of just black in that it fades out at the edges. There's no like hard walls or anything that you can feel or see. It's kind of just fades to black other than where this one spotlight is shining on the globe. And yeah, underneath the globe is that little silvery circular platformy thing. And that's about it. It's literally just an empty room other than this globe. Well, globe in the box.
I wonder what happens if I kick the stick that's holding this floating globe up.
Oh, there's no stick holding it. It is just floating.
Oh, well, no. But the little gold thing on the floor that it's floating above.
Ah, okay. If you want to kick it, you can.
I will. I have no compulsion control.
All right. Make me an unarmed attack roll then. I need to see if you break your foot.
I'm surprised it doesn't break me out of that cat.
I don't have an unarmed attack written on my list, so I'm not sure if it's plus my normal attack bonus or not.
I think, yeah, it's like just call it plus your normal attack bonus.
Oh.
If you're a rogue, I don't think technically you're proficient, but it's a kick. Okay. That's a 14. Okay, with that, yeah, you make a kick. You do not break your foot, but you do give this strange silver box a pretty solid kick. It doesn't move. You do not hurt your foot, but ow, you have just discovered that it is very solidly stuck to the floor. You do hear the whole clang echoing around the carriage from the noise, and you, a little on the other side of where you've kicked, this little drawer opens up and kind of like pops open a little bit from the force of your kick.
Oh, genius. It's the first time that's gone well for me.
Oh dear.
Natha, you doing all right?
She is still like squinting her eyes, like trying to spot the little cat because where the heck did they go? She can hear their voice, but she cannot see where they. She is so
I'm just gonna
confused.
keep naming off things I see in the area. There's a tree over there. There's a rock. I got a caterpillar.
Perfect. I do have to ask, are you still kind of kneeling on the ground with your hands touching the ground, or have you stood up to have a better look at things?
I've kind of crawled on the ground and I've stood it up.
Okay, because the moment you stand up and take your hands off the ground, can you roll me another con save, please?
Oh no! Oh no! Where is it?
I mean, that's a 9. Okay, you're a little bit more used to it this time, seeing as you've gone through it once. But gods, it's not pleasant. At least this time, as it's happening in the opposite direction, you don't feel like you're gonna throw up. But yeah, you're still pretty dizzy when you arrive back in that black room with the globe. Just kind of again that sort of thing. And you're fine. You're back to your regular size. Natha, the cat has just appeared again.
Oh,
Oh my god. She is actually going to get startled at just. She grabs the cat and tosses across the room.
Well, I am definitely stunned from just swooping out of the world. So I've got like the little fucking spirally eyes. I'm gonna just woo.
Oh. I'm sorry. The good news is, even though you got thrown, you at least didn't bash into any walls. It's like you've just kind of been tossed into the darkness. You can still see the spotlight. You can still see the spotlight where the other two are, but there you go.
I'm gonna say after Nava like tosses yes, like Bubsy is gonna like hop up from the shoulder and go like after the cat.
Oh,
There he goes.
oh
He's
no.
after the cat.
Oh, no.
what did they do to you? I'll go bring Abigail back very carefully. Very small pussy cat. No, don't throw the cat.
Don't touch the orb. Unless you want to go on the ground, but feel like you kind of squish. Like,
On the upside, I found something.
what did you find?
We must go and look in the drawer that I have accidentally popped out of the box.
Yep, I will give me an investigation roll, and I'm making investigation this time to see how intelligently you look at all these strange tools that are in there.
Investigation, a 0. Flat roll.
Wonderful. That's a crit fail. Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay. Inside, you see a bunch of shiny metal appliances of all different shapes and sizes. You look like that one's a little bit of pokey sort of one, and there's one here that maybe looks a little bit like a bellows. And as you look at them, you're kind of like stroking your chin, and you're squinting your eyes, and you're certain you can stick all of these things together and make, like, a really, really cool machine. You don't know what these things, like, you are certain that as you are looking that you are meant to put these things together and make, like, the rest of the solar system using these, because, like, yeah, that one there can then, like, act as that sort of planet, and that one there's meant to act as, like, a moon, and you should just stick them together in this right order, then you can make kind of mobile to simulate the rest of things. Yeah!
Yeah! Drop the cat. Got things to do.
Okay, that's amazing.
Oh, you're supposed to be doing. Whoa, are you sure you're supposed to be doing that?
Yeah. What else is it supposed to be?
I'm gonna look at the items at the toll bad as fiddling with.
Sorry, what were you doing?
I'm gonna go look at the items that the tall bat is fiddling with.
Okay, yeah, you have, if you want to roll as well, yeah, give me investigation to see if you can figure out.
The dice does not like us.
That's an 8. Okay, with that, you're... Okay, I will tell you, you don't know what these things are. You do not know what these things are. But you are fairly certain that what Zelda is doing isn't what they're meant to be for. Like, these seem like individual tools rather than something that makes something else. You don't know.
Doing it wrong. I don't know how, what, but you're doing it wrong.
I am absolutely not doing it wrong. I am making the solar system.
I don't think you can make they don't make bowls.
There's a circle right here. This is the moon.
What are you doing?
Making this. I'm putting these together. The thing in the drawer is clearly a diorama of some kind for the rest of the globe.
I don't think so.
You can see just look how like Natha's face is like that went over her head.
Oh, honey.
She's just squinted there like, huh?
Oh.
You're definitely doing it wrong.
Well, then you do it right if you're so knowledgeable.
I'm gonna roll for investigation. Just
Please save us.
Help.
I cannot promise anything. She has -1.
No, we've just got a party of dumbasses and it's wonderful.
Oh my god!
14! Okay. Well done, you got the actual proper... Alright, Natha, you look at this and, like, you know for a fact that Zelda is talking about these wrong because, yeah, no, these are tools. They kind of look a little bit like gardening tools and household tools and, like, just really miniaturized and kind of fancy looking. Because, like, you're looking at that one there and it kind of just looks like a really tiny spade. And that one there is, oh yeah, that's definitely bellows, and you've got some there that kind of just seem like really shiny tweezers. And it's just a bunch of little individual tools that you may use when doing a little craft project, or gardening, or like putting things, like making a thing. And you've now got this strange bat creature trying to make a little system, like, mobile with them.
You are a dumbass, you know that?
I'm pretty sure that was rude.
I mean, everyone can see those are gardening tools.
Are they? I haven't touched the gun.
Those are not planets or whatever the fake
Yeah.
you.
Give them a closer look. They don't look like gardening tools, do they? They're way too small.
You pick one up and it just seems like a tiny ice cream scoop.
Oh,
An ice cream scoop for mice.
oh, mouse. Oh, Daz.
Oh
Oh, who's Daz?
Daz is my friend. I met them when I first got here. I have not been able to find them.
That's tragic.
But maybe they're in this globe somewhere. If we look at the globe, maybe we can recognize something. What if this is the world?
Possibly. I do have a thought though. They're tiny. Like these tiny things. You're saying they're tools. Anyway, tiny things. I shrunk when I touched that. I'm gonna pick up. I want to pick up one of them. I want to touch the orb again. Experiments.
Wait, so you're
Oh.
picking up a tool and then touching the globe?
Yep.
Okay. I'm not going to make you roll Constitution because now you know what to expect. Just know that, like, from how you went last time, for you get kind of, it's very, like, much like motion sickness as you zoom back down. The thing is, the tool doesn't zwarp with you.
Oh, that's so sad.
So what happens is you get about halfway through it before your hands just wind up too tiny to hold this, and as you vanish onto the globe, the tool just kind of drops down and clatter on the floor where Zelda and Natha can see it.
Oh, that's sad.
What if you pick up the tool and you poke the globe with it? Like, you don't touch it, but you just...
Well, you put the tool on the globe. I'm here.
Yeah, I'll touch the globe. Well, I won't touch the globe. I'm not dumb like the cat here.
Says the one who thought they were going to be a solar system.
It looks like it could have made a solar system. It still kind of does. But either way, I'll try poking some of the green area with the little tool that apparently isn't the moon.
Okay. I'm going to say this is the ice cream scoop looking tool. And basically you give it a poke and it doesn't really make too much of a difference. But the moment you do a kind of like scooping moment, congratulations, you've basically just like carved out this chunk of the land. And else I'm gonna say you get to watch this happening. Is like where you've landed this time, it isn't the same forest, you're kind of on rocky ground, and you watch this giant shining silver tool reach down from the sky, this behemoth thing reaching down and scooping out a giant chunk of land, making the entire globe shake, and you have to like struggle to stay balanced and with your hand on the ground as you just watch basically a lake appear. This scoop comes out, scoop of land comes out, and then it fills with water, and congrats, you just watched a lake appear.
You made a lake!
I made a lake!
There's a lake where you dug!
Is there dirt on my little...
Yes, there is.
You're
like a god!
Then I really should not kick this globe.
Unless you want to be an evil god.
No, I don't think so. It's just very tempting.
If you don't kick me, that'll kick me, and that won't be
good. I don't want to keep making holes, but I'll look around the globe looking for something that might be relevant or a sign, or this is an important globe that we have godlike control over.
You can roll investigation if you want. I will say though, you're not gonna find much. Sorry.
It's okay. I'll roll anyway, just in case. Maybe it's a nat one. Nah. Not as exciting.
Okay, with a 16, yeah, you have a really good look. You are scouring this globe and the room, frankly, for any signs that this is like of like what you should be doing, that this is something of like something important, and you know that you've actually had a really good look for this. You can't really find anything other than like this. I will say you managed to find some more drawers on the like little silver on the little platform thing beneath the globe. So you found one full of tools, and then you open up one, and then it seems to be filled with like a couple more tools, and also just a drawer of water and ice with like chunks of ice floating in it. And the third and final drawer has a whole bunch of dirt in like little containers, and it's all like different colored and types of dirt.
I'm going to take a little pinch of water and sprinkle it over my lake.
Okay. So you get to witness it beginning to like raining without any clouds.
Did you just make a rain?
I did.
That was a god.
This dumbass a god?
You don't feel at least a little tempted to play with the globe?
No.
I know how I said you guys shouldn't jump on the globe, but you should jump on the globe.
Here's a good question. So, Abigail, did you just appear like where you touched?
Oh, no, you kind of and squish and stretch, and then you're here.
What if I touch different sides at the same time? Which way will I go?
Do you want to try?
I will.
Okay.
Natha will step back or takes that step back.
Okay. Probably wise. Zelda, yeah, you carefully kind of reach two fingers. Are they going on kind of like opposite sides of the globe or just at 2 points at once?
Opposite sides.
Okay.
Anyway.
As your fingers near the ground, you're kind of hesitating, waiting for that swooping to happen because you saw how nauseous the cat was when Abigail like came back up and just like slowly, and then tap. Your fingers are on the globe. Nothing happens.
Oh. Poke, poke, poke.
Yeah, as long
I'm
as
not going anywhere.
yeah, as long as your fingers are hitting the globe at the same time, nothing happens.
Can I move the globe?
Yes, you can.
I can! I'm going to
Oh,
pick up.
Okay. Alright, yeah, you get this wonderful thing of like, yeah, you can just spin the globe about and rotate it in all sort of directions so you can get different parts of it under the spotlight that's shining down. Yes, it's going between day and night really quickly at the moment. You're not quite sure what's going on. Sometimes the sun rises backwards.
oh my god.
I don't know how you are doing, but the sky can't make up its mind.
I'm turning you in circles.
That would do it. That would do it.
Get the spotlight on all the
How are
spots.
you touching it and not swooping?
I don't know. I touched it with 2 hands, and apparently that's better than 1.
Maybe you can't fill it out. Like 1 finger is swoop, 2 fingers no swoop.
You're so small and squeaky.
You can't even see me.
I will say again, Eos, like the moment you stop touching the ground with the hand that you originally like poked the world with, yeah, you're gonna swoop back out again.
That's never gonna get old, but also gross.
Oh my god. The moment like it was like comes out like whoop, there's this popsicle like
Oh,
Oh, welcome back, Abby. Look, I have the world in my hands.
I see this. You're turning it. I wonder if there's other people that are confused about what's going on.
I can't tell if there are people down there. Can you tell if there's like a town or if it's just like a complete green landscape
There's
kind of?
forests and stones and things. I haven't found a person yet, I don't think.
Did you look?
Hello. But I was distracted by you playing with the sky and the lake.
Natha is at this point gonna look around the room.
What are you looking for?
She's going to leave those 2 on their own devices.
Oh no.
They seem to be getting up to enough mischief. Oh yeah, what sort of thing are you looking for? Because, again, this room doesn't really have much in it.
She's gonna take a proper like look around, like just going around the sides.
Yeah, alright, in that case, yeah, give me a perception roll, and I'm gonna say, seeing as you are taking your time with this, you can actually have advantage on it.
Okay.
Well, that's a dirty
Let's see
20.
if I hire any higher. No,
4.
it's 20.
Let's go with that dirty 20. All right. With that, yeah, you are like you wander around the room, you go into like the parts that fade into black, and like you do kind of notice something a little bit odd with the lighting. While you can walk into black and while the room kind of fades out, you yourself don't seem to be lost in that black as well. It's kind of like, again, as an animation thing, you can just walk into basically this black space, but your character is still fully lit, like no shading or anything, but you are still fully lit. And you kind of start poking around to see if you can find like the edges and the corners of things. And it takes you a while to get there because like you look around and you see that Zelda and Abigail and the globe are really tiny and really far off, but you manage to find a wall. And then you can trace that wall a bit longer and you find a corner. And you can eventually trace the edges of this entire square room that you are in. It's just like really big and obviously made so that you don't go exploring into the black places.
Oh boy.
Oh, where'd our friend go?
Where did our friend go?
So Natha can still see the other two.
Yeah, I think they could see you if they looked really hard, but also they're a bit distracted, so I'm not telling them if they can see you or not.
Marco! Nothing. How it works.
Is their name Marco?
It's a game. One person shouts Marco, the other person shouts Polo.
Well, if we can't see them, they're probably in the dark. So let's see what happens when we take the globe into the dark out of the spotlight. Let's go.
I mean, you can try. I don't think I can grab it.
No, just come with me.
Okay.
Okay, so you grab the globe, and can you give me a strength roll, please?
Oh no.
Oh, I just went through. Did not think this through. At least it's flat, but then again, that's what my last roll was, and we all know how that went.
Yep. That's a 16. Okay.
That's better.
Good news is you don't get crushed under the globe's weight.
Oh dear.
That's good.
But as you kind of lift this globe off its little floaty position, like when it's in that floaty position, it's perfect, it's lightweight, it doesn't weigh anything as it floats there. The moment that you pull it away from that, you are literally carrying the weight of a world. It's tiny, but also no, it's entirely full size. You are going full fucking Atlas here as you suddenly struggle and you don't get crushed completely. That 16 is high enough that I will say you do not take damage. However, you still kind of pick it up. Your legs go all wobbly, like your arms go all wobbly, your legs go all wobbly, and you get smushed.
Whoa. Okay, not as light as it looks.
I don't think it would look like. It's a world.
It was floating.
I could float. Could I? I want to jump on the pedestal.
You start floating. You are floating and slowly rotating there as you stand under the middle of the spotlight.
Look, I can be as light as the earth.
Oh, jeez. Natha, are you doing okay as you kind of watch this from the fringes?
She's there like, what are those two doing?
Chaos.
She's actually going to sneak up closer. she's gonna do the sneaky because she just want to take a closer look, but she doesn't want to get noticed.
Okay, yeah, give me a stealth roll.
Will the rogues notice the rogue?
Depends how high your passive perception is.
Mm-hmm. Wow, terrible.
Okay, that's an 18. Does anyone have a passive perception of either equal to or higher than 18?
I am just slightly under 17.
No, my passive perception is full.
Yeah.
14.
Natha, despite being like twice the size or like 4 times the size as these others, yeah, no, they don't even notice you. You're completely stealthy here. Even Bubsy is playing along with the sneakiness.
How tall is she?
She is tall.
She's big, and it's good.
Good. Zelda's tall, but she is not big.
I'm neither. It's floating routine. This is fun.
I just imagine
fun.
stretched out, going around and around.
I will say now, like, not that you would want to get out, but now that you are there, you cannot free yourself because there's nothing within range to kind of pull yourself out. For you, like, grab and pull yourself, and as you are floating, like, you can't push at anything. You are just stuck there now.
Well, I'm doing the running in place thing. Like, legs, like, I'm stuck, boys.
Amazing. Natha, what do you plan on doing with your sneakiness?
Well, while those two are like distracted, she is going to use the sleight of hand on Zelda.
Ooh.
You're gonna try to rob me? So rude.
Yeah, please roll.
I mean, they are both like properly distracted. Might as well like see like what they have.
Yeah, please roll. And again, it's going to be going against your passive perception, Zelda, because like you're not noticing this. That's a 15.
It made it.
Yep, okay. Well done. You have just pickpocketed Zelda. I will say, Zelda, you kind of get, let's say, Natha, what sort of thing were you looking for, or were you just rummaging in general?
Rummaging in general, like,
Okay.
Okay, let's see what's here.
Zelda, in that case, you get to choose what Natha has found as long as it's appropriate for that 15, which is a definite, like, hey, gets a good thing.
I don't think she's obtained. I don't know if she's obtained anything since being on the carriage besides her flat items. So let me see what would be in her pack.
Yeah. It can just be like a random item from Hammerspace if you want, as long as like it's a random cool item from Hammerspace. Could just be your wallet or something.
Oh my gosh.
She can find the sweater that Oopsie made me.
Oh. Yeah, you pull out a folded up sweater. It's a bit small for you, Natha, but it is a very nice looking sweater.
With an extra set of arms.
Yep.
Nobody's just looking at this. Looks over at Bubsy, puts the sweater like next to Bubsy. No, not the right size. Puts it back where she took it from. She has no use for this sweater.
Oh.
Good.
Well, at least you didn't lose the sweater. Okay. Oh, meanwhile, Zelda, are you just standing there watching Abigail running in midair and desperately trying to get free? Or are you... no, you're not standing there because you're crushed beneath this planet.
Yeah, I'm a bit stuck. I'm a bit stuck watching the chaos while I'm stuck underneath an entire planet.
Yeah, I realise, Natha, I just want to point out, your two teammates are completely stuck. They can't do anything unless you help one of them.
Oh my god.
One of them's crushed under a planet, the other one's stuck in place.
Oh my gosh. Nappa, he's gonna sneak around and pickpocket Eos as well.
Okay, this one you are going to be at disadvantage for, just because, like, Eos is moving around a fair bit, so it's pretty hard to find where his pockets are, or their pockets are.
Dear.
I don't wear pants.
Let's try it anyways.
That's a
15.
Still, yeah, you get a cool thing. That's a cool thing. What do you find? B, what does in Eos's pockets?
Let me just think what he would have, because he just has the basic items. He hasn't been given anything from the campaign, so let's think. What would he have in his pockets?
Do you still have some, like, whatever cursed object you were wearing when you left the pigeon carriage?
Oh my god, the pigeon costume?
Wasn't it you that still had that on?
Yeah, I walked out with the pigeon costume. Yeah, no, he would have that still.
Yeah. Alright, yeah. Natha, you bring out a pigeon costume. I will say, it's probably the right size for Bubsy.
She puts it next to Bubsy. Considering it, does she want to, like, dress this little mimic as a pigeon? No, she's gonna put it back.
Gods, what rubbish teammates are these? Nothing useful to steal.
Clothes.
Oh.
Oh my god. Okay, she's finally, like, just gonna step out of the rear and be like, what are you doing?
I'm floating.
Being crushed by the literal weight of the world.
Do you have any gold?
Are you trying to have me pay you to get a planet off of me?
That barking in the background is Bubsy.
Bubsy saw something and he's going nuts. Okay, hold on.
Try as I might, I can't get out of this light. I am just running in midair.
I have a solution to my problem. I don't need to bribe you. I'll let go of the globe with one hand.
I mean, okay. I think, yeah, in that case... Yeah, I would say that, yeah, you do shrink down. It kind of takes a little second to kick in now that the globe's a bit further away from, like, the little hovering place, because that controlled more than you think. But it does take a second to kick in. And then can I get a constitution save from you, Zelda?
Of course you can. Let's see, do I have any con? I do!
Always fun.
13.
All right. Yeah, in that case, because you kind of know what is to expect after watching your friend a couple of times, when you shrink down, it's a little bit dizzying, it's not super comfortable, but zoop, you are now tiny, and the globe kind of thunks onto the ground and starts rolling off a little bit. So Zelda, you do get this wonderful thing of kind of watching the light fade as you roll into darkness and just going woo, 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 as whatever vague light kind of zwoops around very quickly, and day and night kind of goes past.
Whoa. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. I'm going into the darkness.
Natha is just watching the globe just rolling away, and then she turns to. It was like, so you have gold.
But I have infinite nothing. I can't do anything.
You have nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Sorry.
Sucks to be you.
Wow. That's
Wow.
I put my hands on my hip as I float and spin.
Like, that's rude.
Natha is just comes over and she's just smirking there, and she's gonna use her hand just to like spin arrows around like wee.
When they touch me, I'm rubbing their arms.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, make a dex save to see if you can grab onto Natha's arm.
I am good.
Wait, what do I have to roll? Because I don't think Natha will let
I think
the arrows grab willy-nilly.
make a dexterity save as well, and whoever gets highest wins this.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a crit fail!
Oh no!
That's a crit fail for my ass. Okay.
Natha just quickly pulls away and just goes back to spinning arrows around.
I think what happens is, like, Eos, you try and grab Natha's arm. But because you are being spun around so fast, all you manage to do is add like an extra level of spin to yourself. So now you're not just spinning on like the x-axis, you're spinning on like the y-axis as well, and you're getting very dizzy. Oh no. Zelda, how are you doing? You're in what environment do you want to be in? You wind up right next on like some cliffs next to the ocean.
This is nice. The rapid day and night cycle's not as nice.
Yeah. Especially it's like there isn't any stars or moon or anything to give you light in the middle of the night.
Rip. I'll
So-
probably wait until things settle, because from what I've seen, I can assume that this means I'm moving, so I should wait until I stop moving to try and be free of my ball.
In that case, you're going to be stopped for a little while, and things are going to get basically pitch black for you as the ball winds up rolling into the darkness of the room. And you do kind of hear this clunk, clunk as the ball eventually bashes into the wall and then the corner. And the globe does feel like it's stopped moving. There's no longer that slight little rumble beneath your feet. But yeah, it is pitch black, so you can't really see where you are or what's going on.
Okay. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna get up.
All right. There's that.
Brace myself.
There's that zoop in reverse, and you are back to full size. And yeah, you are just standing in the corner of like this dark place in the room. Again, you're fine. You're lit just fine. And when you look down, you can see the globe. But yeah, you are well away from whatever Natha is doing to your friend.
Wow. How is trying to roll the globe versus picking it up? Like,
It's a lot easier. It does take effort, but yeah, you can do it.
I will slowly begin to make my way back with the globe, carefully rolling it to not touch it with one hand and end up rolling back.
All right, it takes you a couple of minutes. I think by this point, Eos has probably gone green. But you do manage to get the globe back to near where the spotlight is.
Wow! You are not very helpful, are you?
Natha is just smirking there. She's having a great time. Look at this cat spinning around.
You are not a cat person.
Oh, God.
I'm not a
cat.
person.
You're something or other. It's fine. We're all something or others. I'll grab Eos by the tail and pull him off.
Else you are free. You know what gravity is, except you don't know which way is up because you've been spinning for so long now.
Thank you, Zelda's. It's like 15 of you. Birds. Birds.
Birds. I think even the birds are probably pretty dizzy.
Yeah. Like the birds spinning around his head. I don't even birds have got birds spinning around their heads.
Bebe, stop it! I'm in the middle of the session, Bebe.
Is that a puppy?
Yeah, she's on the back of the couch.
Please give her lots of love.
I will when she's not on the back of the couch. Bebe, get off the couch. You are not a cat. Nor are you the size of one. Honey, get down. Get down. Off the couch.
I'm just gonna lay on the floor until the spinning stops.
Probably a good idea.
Get down, Bebe.
Just flop for a bit.
Yeah.
And at this point, Natha just has Bubsy in her arms. She's just petting there, still smirking ever so evilly.
Oh, this is wonderful. This is terrible. Natha, you're horrid. I love you, but you're horrid.
Oh my goodness. Am I going to need to bribe you to see if you can put this back there? Nah, the fuzzy not person who wants gold?
And what do I get from that?
Ah, that's what I thought. Nothing.
Sucks to be you.
Get to be a solid entity and not 15 different fuzzies.
It sucks to be me. It's actually great to be me. What's your problem? I'm a I am not strong, but I will try and see if I can at least get the globe onto the floaty. If I can just lift it just
Alright.
enough.
Give me a strength roll. Alright. Was that the... Wait, what was the 14 for? Was the 14 your strength roll?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I got. It's flat.
Good news is it is enough because as you actually push the globe right up against the little pedestal thing, it does start getting a little bit lighter. So what you wind up doing is rather than lifting the globe back up, you kind of roll it into the pedestal, roll it up the pedestal, and then by the time you kind of get to the top corner of that, it's starting to become lightweight again, and you can easily push it back to its place where it's meant to be floating. It again takes a bit of effort, but you manage it.
Suck it, fuzzy, you non-person. I can do this just fine. The world is back in
Good job, Zane.
Zelda.
Zelda's.
Oh, so we are a tough guy now, huh?
No, I'm a tough gal, to be honest. Usually.
Oh, yeah?
Alright. I'm gonna take a closer look at the tools, see if I can see any to figure out this puzzle, because this is a carriage. Of course there's a puzzle. Gotta find it.
Alright, yeah, if you want to take a better look at the tools, give me investigation with advantage now that you know what they are and you've already had a chance to use one of them. Glad I gave you advantage. That's still a 6.
Didn't help, not really.
No. Yeah, I think at this point, good news is that's high enough that I'm not going to give you a wrong answer. But yeah, you really don't know. Like, okay, yeah, obviously these tools are meant to be used to kind of shape the land, and now that you found like the ice and the water and like different bits of dirt and everything, you can say maybe you're meant to be doing shaping of the land, but you're not really sure what to do or how to do it or like how any of that is meant to work.
I'm at a loss here, guys. We can terraform, but I don't feel like we're supposed to be playing Farming Simulator here.
There has to be a blueprint. If someone's making a world, they have to have it. Right? Right? Unless the blueprint was in their brain.
Or they took it with them.
Maybe.
Which they would if it's in their brain, if their brain is connected to their body. Either way.
We know the ice cream scoop one digs and makes lake. I guess we just have to keep trying. I'm gonna take another random tool and I'm gonna go into the planet and I'm just gonna use it.
Alright, I'll tell you what. You tell me what you think this tool looks like. It can basically be anything you like.
We'll go with a long pokey one. Like a long pokey stick.
Alright, a long pokey stick. Alright. I think this is one that, like, as you kind of gently jab it towards the ground and you pull it away, you don't really see much of a difference. But then you look closer and you realize, oh, a tree just got plopped down where you jabbed it.
I did a tree, guys!
I think it's time for some experimentation with these tools.
Yeah. If we can't figure it out with brain power, we'll figure it out with practical use. And experimentation.
Alright, who wants to grab the next tool and what does the tool look like?
I will grab something that is curved.
Something that is curved. What sort of curve?
Maybe like a latch hook kind of curve. So it kind of curves all the way up, like
Okay.
hooky kind of thing.
Alright, as you scrape this along the surface, you manage to carve out a valley.
Look what you did!
Made a valley, down in the valley.
I will say, as you guys are doing, Natha, what are you doing throughout all this?
She's gonna go through the pockets again, just double check if there isn't really anything.
Okay, roll me sleight of hand again, please.
I don't think that beats anybody's passive perception.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, okay, so it's because considering that's a crit fail, yeah, you're going to do this, and they're both gonna notice you, like, instantly.
I'm gonna take the little sharp tool that I had in my hand and just point it at them.
Looking for something there, friend.
This is not. She's going to grab both of them and toss them across the room.
I'm gonna try and not get tossed across the room this time.
Okay, I want a strength roll from Natha, and I want a dexterity saving throw for anyone that wants to resist.
Can I roll athletics?
Yes, like, treat it like shot put.
I guess I don't need my +2.
Nope. Oh, okay. With that nat 20 from Zelda, and a 13 from Eos against only a 12 from Natha, with that, Yeah, you guys are kind of... Natha, I'm sorry. You fail miserably. You almost managed to toss the cat, seeing as the cat is rather lightweight. It's a bit more difficult to toss the skinny bat toon that's, you know, as tall as you are. So Zelda just... You cannot pick her up for whatever reason. Please describe... You three, describe to me how this chaos goes. Please, please.
How does Nappa try to grab us?
Yes. Tell us, Nappa, what did you do? What did you try to do?
Just she tried to grab onto anything. Like,
Do you manage to, like, grab... Zelda, do you wear, like, a hat or anything?
No, but I have real big ears.
Okay, yeah.
oh dear.
Oh dear. Maybe you grab ears and like Zelda, you manage to pull away and your ears just slip right out.
Soft with bad ears, they're just like bloop. It's like, oh.
I imagine to be a much closer call for me. Like your hands are probably big enough to just grab me at my waist. I'm gonna be honest. So you try to grab me, and you nearly have me, but then I slump out of your hand and up into your arm. Like no.
Like cats can become liquid when they want to.
I'm also a rubber hose, so yes.
Yes.
I am liquid.
Oh god.
Oh dear. Oh, do we need to roll initiative here, maybe?
I'm fighting.
I heard none of that because both of you were talking at once.
Sorry.
Go on, Loon.
Well, unless they attack first, I'm just perplexed here. Like, do they just want to rob us and then walk around this empty room where they can't spend their gold? Like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing with your life?
Unless Natha continues, I'm just going to keep standing on their arm.
Okay. Natha, what do you plan on doing?
Nappa just like some rando standing on her arm, so she's gonna try to toss again.
Oh no!
Gonna try to grab and toss.
Okay, another athletics and another dexterity saving throw, please.
Happy.
Okay, that's a 21 for the dex saving and a 40. Okay.
Oh my god, this cat.
Eos, you could basically see this coming this time, so you can dodge it like without a second thought.
Tut. Why? Why am I so eatable?
You are very tiny. We did shoot you out of a cannon.
I did, yeah.
She's gonna try to eat again.
Okay, one last time.
One last time.
One last
this time.
time.
I'm jumping on Zelda. If I escape, I'm jumping on Zelda.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Yeah, no, this time the yeetage happens, and with that 26, yeah, you're gonna go flying hard enough that you splat against one of the really far walls, Eos.
Pancake cat, let's go! I hit the wall, I flatten like a pancake, slide off, and then as I hit the floor.
Like straight out of a Tom and Jerry skit.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Does anyone want to maybe stop Natha from doing this again? Or are we just going to continue with this chaos?
Well, Natha's a bit distracted, so I'm going to try and take their dog thing.
Oh, okay. I did do your stat block for Bubsy, didn't I? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I do have the sheet.
Okay. What are you doing, Zelda?
I'm going to try to just reach while they're distracted, throwing the cat to just grab the thing by both hands and yank it back.
Okay, then in that case, I'm gonna need.
Oh no.
This is gonna be dexterity for you, Zelda, and a dexterity saving throw from Bubsy.
That is gonna be dicks because there is no saves.
Oh, joys.
Just regular decks.
Yeah, for Bubsy, for it is a regular like
yeah, no
dex
bonus
because
to
there
saving
is no
throws.
saves.
Yep. Because Bubsy is
Rip.
baby.
Bubsy is a little baby.
Bubsy is a baby. That's real sad for Bubsy.
That's a 10 from Zelda.
No, Bubsy's too distracted.
Well done! You now have hold of a squirming and angry and somewhat confused baby mimic.
Hello,
Okay,
little-
and
Yep.
since you grabbed Bubsy, hold on, let me read this.
I feel like it might be time for initiative.
I think it might be time for initiative. If you're going to make an attack, I think it is initiative time.
I'm gonna roll anyway.
Yeah,
Because I know because I know what I'm doing if this isn't gonna be an attack.
Oh
Oh
boy.
my god!
Okay.
You're not one initiative.
Well,
Oh,
the
we
good,
are rolling initiative?
the
Okay.
good news is you can't actually fail in initiative. On the other hand, I do feel like this crit fail is reflective of the fact that you just got splattered. So I think you are going to maybe miss your first turn.
That is completely fair. I am probably gonna spend my first turn literally popping toes out, skittering, and then boing, you know?
Yes, perfect. Oh dear.
Okay, I have to say though, because you grabbed Bubsy,
Mhm.
you have to make save or be grappled.
Ooh.
Because it's a mimic. You grabbed a mimic.
Is that at the end of my turn, the end of their turn?
I would say, considering that was things you grabbed mimic, I am gonna need you to make a draw. Can I get an initiative roll for Bubsy as well, please? But yeah,
Okey-dokey.
otherwise, Luna, you are first up in initiative, followed by Natha. Not Luna. Zelda. Oh wow, I'm doing great with names at the moment.
It's early. You're
I'm tired. I need food.
20. Bubsy gets to go
Okay,
first.
I think in that case, yeah, we are starting initiative. Let's say, I wouldn't. Considering consider the Dex contest, I think that means that Zelda did actually win the grapple, so is not going to be grappled. However, with Bubsy going first, Bubsy can try to take a bite out of Zelda's arm.
Bubsy is gonna try.
Make an attack roll.
You don't grab mimics, mimics grab you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Don't grab a mimic. Okay, that is okay. It
Oh.
hits.
That's gonna hit. Oh, 19. Okay, roll damage.
Yikes.
Zelda, I love that, like, you will have just gone from, yes, grabbed a rather confused mimic to the mimic has grabbed you and is not letting go.
Wait, they escaped the grapple,
just biting onto Zelda's arm and not letting go sort of thing.
Just elastic stretch
Yum.
Okay.
and
7 damage. Piercing damage. Chomp chomp.
Wait,
Is it?
wait. Piercing. I have to make another roll because there's acid damage.
Oh, yeah, there's acid damage as well.
oh, yikes.
I forgot this. It's
Yikes,
bite.
indeed.
Yeah. Oh no. There's no acid damage for baby mimic. It's just 1d8 plus 3 piercing damage.
Really?
Yeah. So I've got the stat block up right here. Because it is baby mimic, it doesn't have the acid just yet.
It's not old enough. to acid.
Then I have to change that on the sheet because that is what is put there.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. If you just got the default sheet for mimics and everything, it's going to be a lot harder. This is the the one that I made for you here. Let me actually I'll pop this back into the game zone so everyone can see. But yeah, the one that I made for you is specifically like less damage, less acid, less powerful, both because baby mimic and also because in general, objects that get taken out of the carriage that they were originally made for are no longer quite as powerful or as stable as they were previously. So yeah, it's just going to be 7
Okay,
damage.
let me remove that acid damage away from the sheet. There we go.
Okay.
Now it's correct.
Yeah, so Zelda, you have a mimic latched onto your arm who has just dealt you 7 piercing damage. What do you want to do?
I want to have the mimic touch the globe. I want to move the mimic that's attached to my arm to touch the globe.
Oh, that's clever. Okay, give me a dexterity roll, not saving throw, just a roll, to see if you can successfully navigate right next to the globe and get Bubsy to touch it.
22.
That's a 22. Yes, well done. Bubsy shrinks down and vanishes onto the globe.
Oh
no! With that, I would say, Natha, it's your go.
She sees this happening. She is not happy.
No.
Okay. She is going to go for unarmed strike.
Oh,
no. Oh no. Zelda, you may have made a big mistake.
You know what? They needed to be put in a timeout.
Yeah. Does a 15 hit? Zelda,
Does it hit?
Does a 15
What?
hit?
Sorry.
Does a 15 hit you?
A 15 hits me.
Oof. Okay.
It hits you. Okay.
I do just have to ask, like, while you're rolling damage, Natha, have you just punched Zelda in the face or something?
Pretty much.
Wonderful. Brilliant.
Can I do uncanny dodge to at least lessen the effects of the pain?
I mean, yeah, if you want. If that's an ability you can do.
Yeah, it's on my sheet.
Let me just roll the damage first.
You
There we
are
go.
a
6.
rogue.
Wow.
When an attacker you see with an attack, you can use your reaction to have the attack's attack damage against you.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's gonna be 3. But I'm gonna say Natha, as a bonus action, she is going to grapple.
Oh no, you're just gonna try and pin Zelda to the ground.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, yeah, I can't remember what the actual rules for grapple are because they're complicated and boring. So
I think like I'm gonna like use my athletics and they are gonna use either
I think it's just like
their
it's generally either like a dex saving throw or a strength saving throw, depending on whether you want to like squirm out or like push them off, sort of thing.
yeah.
So let's go.
I'm gonna roll for athletics to grapple. Good luck trying to get out.
Meanwhile, while this is going on, Eos, your fingers go pop. Oh,
Oh no!
that's a 26.
I don't think you can.
Oh,
I think I'm grappled.
I think.
Yep.
Is it possible for you to get higher than a 26?
What save is it?
Either dexterity or strength, your choice.
I mean, I can. It will be very difficult.
I reckon
But
have
I
a
can
go.
Try.
We'll see if the random number gods are on your side. They are! It's a 27! Oh boy, you just managed to squirm out of this grapple. Just using some inhuman dexterity there.
Oh my
My
goodness.
my 8 saved me.
Okay. Eos, you do the little finger scuttle over, so you're now next to this, and you pop back up. And you can have an actual action on your next turn. But right now, we're back at the top of initiative, so Zelda.
All right. Someone needs a calm down time. So I'm going to cast some hideous laughter on our friend here.
Oh,
So they're going to
dear.
make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save? Okay.
Like, meanwhile, Bubsy down on the planet, just kind of like barking into the sky. No idea what's going on. And because the thing is, mimics can't like specifically take their hands off because they only have feet. So as long as like Bubsy's feet are touching the ground, they're stuck on the planet.
That's what Zelda was hoping for.
Oh, Bubsy.
Bubsy deserves
wisdom
it.
Save.
Bubsy deserves it.
Yeah.
Bubsy done!
Chomp.
You grabbed Bubsy!
Bubsy has bit many people.
Fair.
I'm coming to Bubsy.
Does that make it?
It would be against my spell DC, is that what it is?
Yeah, spellcasting.
Yeah, it beats it. Mine's 11.
Heck.
Alas.
She
It's
is not in the laughing mood.
Nah, they're not. No, they're not. No, I'm...
Okay. It is Bubsy's turn. I don't think Bubsy can do much at the moment. So we may skip over that until Bubsy is rescued from the planet.
Oh, God.
Natha, it's your go again.
Another punch.
God. Yeah, roll to attack. I think this is kind of just... Yeah, that's a 22. I think this is kind of just going to turn into a fucking dustcloud fight at this moment.
7
Yeah, take
damage.
7 damage. Alright, I think... Alright, Eos, you get your turn, and then I'm going to turn this just into a dustcloud fight, and I'm going to do a different sort of roll to see who's going to come out on top.
Okay.
I want to try to grapple again as a bonus action.
Do you mind if we skip it, just so we can keep this moving along?
Sure.
Thank you. Eos, what are you going to do?
Well, okay, I am going to use my Bolt of the Grave, which comes off of my cunning action, so I dash forward and then Bolt of the Grave.
What does it do?
So Bolt of the Grave, head of it up. Yes. You come to me, sir? Thank you. Wonderful. Who wants to come? Let's have it up. Oh, baby, why are you so sad?
Slow
Alright.
internet.
So, immediately after your cunning action, you make a ranged spell attack against a creature within 30 feet of you, provided you haven't used your sneak attack, which I haven't. So if I can get within 30 feet of them...
Which
I
you
can hit
are.
them.
Yeah, you can be right next to them if you want.
Excuse me, I'm D&D here.
That's Bubsy on the planet.
Any background dog noises are just Bubsy, it's okay.
Yes. Alright, so if you're efficient with it, you add your dex modifier to this attack. So I believe I roll sneak attack. Yeah, this uses sneak attack. Yeah, I think I just roll my sneak attack.
I mean, you are kind of just coming out of absolutely fucking nowhere and launching
Yeah.
yourself at Natha, so...
Yeah, I'm just literally boom, bam, with my fingertips.
Hell yeah.
So
Is it guarantee hit?
it doesn't say. It doesn't say that I roll.
Let me have a quick look. Sorry, can you repeat the title of it again?
bolts from the grave.
Bolts
It's
from the
revive-
grave. Okay.
Yeah. Revived rogue.
5 rogue, bolt from the grave. Please load. I think it's a ranged spell attack, so you do actually need to make an attack roll, but you use like your spell casting bonus.
Yeah, just my dex. Since proficient with dex. Alright. So let's write this up. Boom.
15. Does that hit?
Hits.
Yes. Okay. Roll damage.
Roll damage. So that uses my sneak attack, and my sneak attack
Oh dear.
is like 3 or 4d6.
Oh dear.
I think I have to check my level thing.
Don't you already have this like nice and easy on your character sheet?
Apparently, I don't. But that's okay because right here in front of me.
If-
Yep.
Are they like level 5 rogue?
Yeah, they are. Which is why.
Then it's 3d6
Yeah.
for the sneak.
No. Yeah.
This is
Boom.
wonderful. 12 damage, Natha.
Oh boy.
And I think with that, this is just gonna straight up turn into a fucking dustcloud fight now, as Eos dives in, and you've got like a couple of spells flying about, and you've got like, this is a perfectly clean and pristine room. Dustcloud happens anyway. If you want an excuse for it, let's say you rammed into the little pedestal where like the earth with, and you crushed the jar of the drawer filled with dirt and everything. And seeing as you are, I'm going to need everyone to make me a strength roll and a dexterity roll to basically see how this will turn out.
Both of strength and dex, or one or the other?
Both.
All right.
Because the
Can I
dex...
still use my athletics?
Yeah,
Or is
no,
it
no,
just
it's got to
strength?
be just strength. But
Okay.
yeah, this is going to be basically... A strength is going to be how much damage you deal to other people. Dexterity is going to be how much damage you manage to avoid yourself.
Oh
Well,
my
my
God.
strength is pathetic.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so that's an 11 strength for Zelda, a 10 strength for Eos, I still don't know how to pray it, and 22.
dexterity.
So the good news, Zelda, you are going to be taking very little damage.
I put all my stats into my dexterity.
Yep. Min-maxing like hell.
Oh,
Eos, you are also going to be taking fuck all damage. Natha?
Strength and dex.
Yeah.
Okay, first the strength. Okay.
Okay. 12 damage. It's not too bad, nothing astounding.
Okay, and then the dex.
And a 21. Okay, all of you got above 20 for your dexterity, and you didn't get amazingly high for your strength. So the good news is
Bro.
none of you are going to be taking damage. But what keeps happening is you pull someone up, ready to punch them in the face, and then they slip out of their hand and you go and you punch the third person instead. And that keeps happening between the three of you fucking constantly. However, because you weren't aiming for them properly, there's no power behind the punch by the time you get to them. And you've got one person gnawing on someone else's leg, and you've got arms and legs just kicking out of the dust everywhere. We can't see shit because of the dust cloud. You guys are having a great time here. And it's at this, while you are in the middle of this is the point when we hear ding ding ding, and we get a freeze frame, and the dust clears, and you've got Natha sitting there holding up Zelda by the ears again, ready to punch once more, while we've got Eos biting Natha's leg, and we've got, and this is the point where I ask, have all three of you listened to the announcement already?
Yeah.
Yeah, the announce. I read it before. I haven't read it recently. go take a look at it again.
Okay, in this case, if you will, I mean, like, the train announcement, I will play it so that everyone does get a chance to hear it again, because it can get a bit... One moment. Thank you for being patient while I fucking search for the thing that I need. Because I had it copy-paste, and then I had to copy-paste the mimic shoot instead. Alright, so yeah, this is the announcement that everyone hears.
Attention! Attention all passengers. This is a railway service announcement. First of all, welcome aboard the Neverending train. For those who are new, yes, you heard that correctly, this is a train. It is a very large train with very unusual carriages, but it is a train nonetheless. To the rest of you who are already familiar with this, you may have noticed some technical difficulties, deficiencies, and all-around pickups, including, but not limited to, risk to life and limb, stress and strain to mental health, and a sore lack of abidance to railway standards. Owing to these failings, my friends and I, fellow passengers all, have taken the initiative and made our way to the engine. This was made possible by the emergency exits available for use in the centre of the ceiling of each carriage. I repeat, there is an escape hatch in the centre of each carriage's ceiling. It might be disguised under an illusion of some nice fluffy clouds, but trust me, it's there if you look. They can be a bit of a bugger to shift, but keep at it, I'm sure you'll manage. If any of you do attempt this, be careful not to fall in the process. It's a long way down, and I know this from personal experience. And also, once outside it is possible, you might encounter a giant multi-legged robot with laser vision and knives for hands, so keep an eye out for that. In the meanwhile, my esteemed colleagues and I will be attempting to rectify, or at least put a stop to, this train's more harmful shortcomings. Namely, that individual who is called Father. He is called Father. He appears not to be a passenger. I am unclear as to whether he created this train or merely the poor soul he abandoned and left in charge of it, who is actually a really nice laddie person, automaton, called Alex. If you meet them, be nice. It's not their fault. Really, it's not their fault. We are going to try to fix the train. If you come across the Father figure, beat the peck out of him. It's basically their fault. You are, of course, welcome to continue your little pre-arranged adventure on the train. Apparently, we all have a nice tailor-made individual one that if we solve, we're allowed to get off the train. But the last person to do that was 14 years ago. So, just keep that in mind. You could be stuck on here indefinitely. And hey, what's a little rebellion without a few friends, huh? Some of ye may have met me already by another name, but for now ye may simply call me Oscar. I'm short, orange, have a mouth like a tin can opener, and I'm apparently a lot more qualified for the running of locomotives than the poor soul they've lumped with the task here. As for the picnic, who's responsible for all this, if you're listening, which I'm sure you are, in brief, I'm coming for you. And there is no machine, no monster, no demon, nor god in this world that will stop me. Thank you all for your time and attention, and remember, if you do make your way to the outside of this train, please mind the gap.
Bong, bong, bong. And the announcement ends.
Oh.
Oh.
Happened before.
Truce?
Truce.
Truce? Get to ceiling? The ceiling? I will.
You bring my pet back now.
You bring your pet back. Go on there and go get him. Follow the bark. For Worf.
Easy to get on the planet. You just touch it.
It's your turn to touch the planet. It's my turn to get out of here.
Oh, no, you don't. Jeez.
I'm oh no.
You took my pet. You put them there. You tell me how to get them out.
I just told you. We just told you, go touch the planet, go to there, pick up your dog, and come back.
You're the one
You have to be more specific.
getting us.
You hear that barking? Touch where you hear the barking. Touch that. Then you'll go there, and then you can pick up your dog. I have someone to deal with at the moment. I need to go.
Just getting up and build up. Let's find the panel thingy.
Center of the room. I'm guessing the center of the room is below, so we just got to get above it. How high is the ceiling?
You have no idea. Because again, with the way that this place kind of just fades out into black, you can't see it. You know that there must be a ceiling because like the light that is shining down onto the globe is hanging from a wire, but like you have no idea where that wire goes or how far it is other than it vanishes into blackness.
Can we reach the light? How high up is it?
I would say it's about 10 feet in the air.
Throw me at the light.
I can reach that by jumping. No, I can't. No, yes, I can. I'm really tall.
I can stand in your head.
How tall are you exactly?
I'm trying to remember. No, I'm not tall enough. I'm like 6'9". I'm not tall enough to jump up to 10 feet. But I can jump and toss Eos up. And Eos can probably make the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Pass me a rope. Do you have a rope? I burnt mine.
Oh, I have a rope.
Awesome. Can pass me the end of the rope.
I will pass the end of the rope.
I'm gonna tie it around my waist. Throw me at the light.
I will eat you.
Okay.
Even if my ear's being held onto, I will still eat.
Actually, yeah, good point, Natha. Have you put them down?
She's probably still grabbing onto like with one hand to Zelda because they took her pupper away. She's not gonna let that slide right away.
I mean, you can tell that Bubba's fine. But Bubsy's fine because again, you can still hear that barking coming from the planet.
There's just a little.
Yeah, it's really tiny. But yeah, Zelda, if you want to throw, give me a strength roll just to see how far you can manage to yeet. Eos. A 14. Yeah, a 14 that's easy enough because Eos is really light. It's only a really tiny distance. Eos, you managed to scramble on top of the light.
Hell yeah! So I'm gonna take that rope that was secured on my waist and secure it onto the light.
All right. In that case, you've tied the rope to the light. You are standing on top of the light. The wire again just kind of disappears into darkness up above you, but you can try and climb it if you want.
I will try climbing it.
All right. Give me either athletics or acrobatics. Up to you.
Definitely acrobatics, considering my athletics -1.
Yep.
In comparison to my +7.
There you go.
My gosh.
25. Yeah, no, you scramble up this thing. Like, I don't know how, but you managed to do a cartwheel going up. And soon enough, you managed to find where this wire kind of connects into the ceiling. You can't see it, because again, everything's dark up here. But you can feel where the wire connects to the ceiling, because you bash your head into the ceiling.
Bonk! I found the ceiling!
Get it open, I'm coming!
Oh, try! I'm gonna try and pat around to find something.
Alright, give me investigation. See if you manage to find, like, one of the seams for the ceiling, maybe. Yeah, no, you have, this is just solid ceiling. What are you meant to do? Like, how are you meant to get through solid ceiling?
I bash it. No!
Meanwhile, Natha, Zelda, how are you doing?
Go get your
Never. Nava is still like holding on to like Zelda with this deft grip, like oh boy. But at the same time, she is looking at the clock because she can hear the barking. Bubsy is somewhere there,
touch.
and she
where you
and
hear the-
and she's going to be like, "Come on, Bubsy, come on, come to me,
I'm going to face palm.
come on,
You do
hop into
remember
my arms."
You do remember there being a tool that was kind of like a set of tweezers? You could maybe use that if you wanted, or did you? Or are you just gonna like hopping down to the planet?
Oh no, I don't.
She's first trying to like make like Bubsy like hop like into her arms, like if that is possible. Just like come on, come on.
Roll me animal
You can do it.
handling. Let's see if this actually works.
Oh dear.
Because if you can convince Bubsy to jump, Bubsy will actually get large again, but I just want to see how well... 17! Nice! Yep. Now that Bubsy can kind of hear your voice and can hear that like you're calling to him, like you can hear this... whoosh, and you get this wonderful whoosh motion as Bubsy grows large and lands exactly in your arms.
Aw, there you are. Was it scary?
This is my moment to break free and clamber up the rope. This is time.
Oh no, you don't. She is going to pull. She releases for a moment and tries to go for a punch.
Oh, no, give me an athletics or acrobatics roll, Zelda, to see how far you manage to get up the rope before Natha notices.
Acrobatics. 10.
10, okay.
Almost a critical failure.
Yeah, no, you do not get very far. Like, you can almost touch the light before Natha can just grab your leg and...
Nappa just grabs onto and pulls down like, nope.
Yep. Oh, jeez.
How hard do they pull to that rope? Because that rope's attached to the light, which is what I'm on, which is attached to the ceiling.
Give me a strength roll. Let's see how this goes. Because if it's high enough...
Oh no.
Wait, who?
No, Natha, yeah. Give me a strength roll.
Just the straight up strength.
Just plain strength.
Damn it.
Sadly, not everything can be athletics.
Fair enough.
Alright, at 11 is enough that, yeah, you can get Zelda down, but the rope doesn't come undone. You can kind of feel, like, from the weight of it, the light winds up bouncing a little bit, and Eos at the top, you can feel it, but it doesn't move around so much that it's going to knock you off or anything.
Oh, wonderful. That's perfect.
Are you out of your actual mind? Did you not hear the announcement?
She is not going to respond. She's just going to straight for the punch.
You are at disadvantage because you are holding Bubsy in your other arm.
Fair enough. Well,
I'm guessing that 10 doesn't hit.
No.
instead it hits the floor like... I just imagine the floor getting a bit cracked on because of the impact.
I think with a 30, no, with a 10. Yeah, I reckon the floor, it doesn't quite crack, but you do leave like a little mark on the floor as you hear dong, and of like hollow metal being struck echoing throughout the carriage.
Oh boy.
Well, I will once again take this opportunity to try and throw my way back up the rope.
Escape!
I do not want
Escape, Natha.
So, do I make another acrobatics?
Yes, please.
Well, much
Oh
better.
my!
Yeah.
I don't think Natha is able to grab that,
Yeah.
so I'll let it go.
Yeah, no, with a 25
She-
Zelda, you are able to cartwheel up the rope.
Yeah, Natha tries, but just out of reach. And then she's going to go right after.
Yeah. Zelda, yeah, you have managed to easily get up to where Eos is, and you can also, like, right up against the ceiling. Yeah, are you trying to climb up as well, Natha?
Yeah, she's out for blood.
Okay, yeah,
She's not finished.
give me athletics or acrobatics.
Are you gonna have to climb with one hand because you're holding your dog?
Oh, yeah, you're at disadvantage as well. On the other hand, I don't want to put you at disadvantage because that was a nat 20 plus 10, and, like,
Can we please go for the net?
let's go with... Okay, with that, I'm actually gonna say that some fun shit happens here, because not only do you get to cartwheel up the rope as well, you barely even need to hold on to it, despite you doing it with one hand, as you basically just grab onto the rope and tug, and you go soaring up, and you grab again and tug, and you crash into it even more. The downside to this is, I am actually gonna say, while you are able to fly up this rope easily, you are basically galloping up it. Because it disappears into darkness, and because you're going so fast, you don't really get a chance to see that, like, hey, the other two have stopped. You're going up and up and up, and then and you get this moment of you kind of shaking in midair before crash, and you go crashing back down onto the ground. On the other, you do not take any damage. Because I'm gonna just say toon rules. This is rule of funny. I'm not gonna make you get hurt here. But you bashed into the ceiling at full speed, which is enough that, like, Eos and Zelda, as you're kind of like frantically clinging onto the rope, or the wire rather, you can now feel that, like, there's a crack in the ceiling right there. You can get the very faint glimmer of machinery behind it. You can see something that was like, there's a crack in the ceiling that Natha just made with her head.
Yeah,
Bloody.
I'm gonna pull my crowbar out of my thieves' tools and try and pry the thing open.
Yeah, give me strength with advantage. Seeing as you are being smart about it, using a crowbar. Well, let's see if we can get higher than 11.
11 is the highest it's gonna give me.
Okay, with that, you can lever the crack open a tiny bit more. Maybe it's enough that you can stick an arm through it now. Then, like, you get a much better look at the weird machinery that's on the other side. It doesn't seem like there's not much in the way of light, but there's just enough, like, ambient light that you can see the machinery moving about, and you can see what's holding on to this section of the ceiling. But it's not enough for you to crawl through just yet.
What about Amos? He's real small.
Oh, yeah. Abigail, you will probably be able to climb through if you wanted to squeeze through. But I'm not sure what you're going to do on the other side.
Well, maybe I can...
Pull while I push?
Maybe I have a crowbar as well. My strength is weak, but I have a crowbar. So maybe we can get a better advantage if I'm in there with my crowbar.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, if you both want to have a go, Eos, you climb through. You are now on the inside of a bunch of machinery. There's a lot of gears and levers and everything about, but it's enough space for you to be there. I want a strength roll with advantage for Eos, and just a plain strength roll for Zelda, seeing as you've already had a go at it. Well,
Wow.
Zelda's not going good.
Oh my goodness.
I dropped my crowbar.
Yeah, just as Natha, just as you're getting up, like sitting up and kind of rubbing at the lump in your head, a crowbar goes
Oh my
dong
God.
and bashes you.
You got a net 20.
Nat 20. Okay. All right, with that, Eos, somehow your tiny body contains so much strength, and you kind of just like, you're jumping up and down on the crowbar trying to leave this thing open. And then suddenly something goes and a massive chunk of the ceiling falls and goes crashing onto the ground, landing right behind Natha, as Natha kind of sits up and looks around and goes like, huh.
Are you trying to kill me? Okay, that's it. She's gonna try to go up the rope again.
Oh my God, let's go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll to get up the rope considering how well you did last time. Natha, you can just climb the rope.
Can I get onto the platform before they make it to the top?
Yes, you are now on the inside of all this machinery and gears, and as you look up, there is actually a hatch in the ceiling directly above you.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna undo that if I can.
Yep, give me strength.
Strength.
I'm gonna together, me and them, and my crowbar. I'm gonna help them.
Yep.
Together, we're gonna get this hatch open.
It's a 13.
13.
Okay, Eos. Oh, roll me one more time, seeing as you're using a crowbar. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go with that 13. Good news is, it is just high enough that you can actually squeeze it open, like the crunching and screeching of metal that doesn't want to move. Bad news is, you do not manage to get it open fast enough before Natha manages to climb up the top as well.
Now she's there.
Oh no.
She's gonna try to go for that punch again for Zelda.
Oh god, poor Zelda.
I've never had my own teammate try to murder me this hard.
I'm not trying to murder you.
I'm still involved in this.
They're not trying to kill you. Don't make it about you, Antonia.
Oh god.
Ow!
Are you guys okay?
26 is a bit a lot.
26 is pretty high, yep. That's how much damage is that? 5 damage.
5.
That's like the minimum amount of damage. I gotta ask, Zelda, you've taken a fair few hits. Are you doing okay?
I am almost halfway down on my hit point. I
Okay.
have 21 out of 40.
Okay, that's not too bad. You're still alive. You can take a few more punches. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Good news is the hatch is open. Zelda and Eos, you scramble out of it and you find yourselves on the roof of a train surrounded by even more nothingness. In one direction, the train just stretches out into infinity. In the other direction, the train also just stretches out into infinity. And if you want more, you're going to have to make perception checks and or not get killed by Natha.
Is there a way to tell which direction the train is like which side is going forward, like the front?
That's what the perception check's for, and you got to get really high to get that bit of knowledge.
Alright, well, we're gonna try, you know? Worst case we can do is try.
Mhm.
This...
20.
Okay.
Ow!
So that's a crit fail from Zelda.
Zelda, no idea.
Zelda, yeah, no, you kind of just, I'm gonna say, Zelda, as you look out, you kind of get swallowed by this darkness, because while, like, in the room that you were just in, it did just kind of, it was black, it was dark, it was kind of nothing. This is a gaping void of nothingness to the point that you can feel it almost sucking at your soul, and it's rather disconcerting.
Yeah.
Eos, however, cool. Another weird place, right? Cool, fine. You having a look around, and with a 22, like, you can listen to the clack, 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 clack of the train, except it's a lot deeper, because this train's fucking massive. Like, each of these carriages, now you're on the roof, you can get a good look, and each carriage is about the size of a football field. And you are listening to it, and if you listen, like, really carefully, you can hear a kind of noise coming from your left that seems to kind of be the same sort of sound that an engine might make, but wow, it's coming from really far away. With a 22, you also get the chance to see, as you look a little bit further down the train from, like, coming from the opposite direction of where you think the engine is in, you see 2 little colourful specks wandering along the roof of the train.
That could be good or bad.
In the meanwhile, I just imagine like Natha like rising up from the little hole, like those crocodiles which like peek out of the water. Like she does the same with the like.
I am straight up thinking of. Can I just say, Natha, you would make an absolutely excellent Don Bluth Studios villain. You've got the teeth for it.
Oh my god. Okay.
Wait, what was the last part?
That way, front of the train, but there's something down there. I don't know what it is. But there's something down that way.
I don't like how dark it is, so let's go. Let's go. Lead the way.
Which way? People or to train?
Train. We need to get to the front of the train.
All right, well, that way. We're going towards the front of the train then.
Okay, so you're going away from the two little colourful dots?
Yep.
Right. Okay, this is the point. I do want to wrap up the episode here, but at the same time, I'm just wondering how to kind of make this all neat, because you guys have just headed in the complete opposite direction of, like, where other people would be. I do. While you guys are trying to run in the direction of the engine, Natha, what are you doing after your wonderful villainous rise from the hatch?
Well, she looks after the two for a moment, but as it is new surroundings now, she's gonna look around.
Yeah.
Like, where did she?
Yeah, give me perception then.
Oh dear. Well,
A 10 is enough that, like, yeah, you also kind of notice this place is really big and really empty and, you don't know what's going on. A 10 is also enough that you notice the two colourful dots, kind of heading in your vague direction, far down the train in one direction. And also, with a 10, you see, Eos and, there's like Abigail and, Zelda running down the train away from you in the opposite direction.
She feels tempted to go after. Ooh.
Yeah, this is up to you.
What would Natha do?
Well, I'll note the only reason Zelda was not for going for the lights was because the announcement had the warning of the giant creature on the roof.
Yep, yep.
If that's
that is fair.
lights were, rather not run towards it if the head of the train, where we're supposed to go, is in the other direction.
No, that's entirely fair. I'm gonna say, while Natha is still kind of deciding on this, I do have to wait, no, because that's... No, actually, I won't do that because I think that would just be mean.
Oh dear.
Please
You're
don't.
not a mean DM. You're a nice DM.
I'm a nice DM, which means I'm not going to go sicking a rather large monster on you.
Oh, we already have one of those on us.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where I figure. I think is what happened is you guys are going to keep running towards the engine. Do you mind if I do a bit of a time skip here?
That's fine.
Because I will actually ask, Natha, where do you want to go? Which direction do you want to head in? What are you doing?
Oh man, she's going to be like in her little hole, like, I'm gonna get you later. And then she goes to the opposite direction because she can't be bothered.
Okay.
She can't be bothered anymore because she got one punch. And those idiots are running into the void. She's not going to follow.
Oh, okay. So, Natha, you start going in the opposite direction. I will follow you for a little bit before I get to the other two, because you guys have some fun. But you, Natha, you kind of just start wandering off in the other direction, wandering down these absolutely massive, across the roofs of these absolutely massive carriages. And as you jump over the gaps between one and the other, you get a bit closer and you notice that those two colourful dots slowly resolve themselves into being two kind of small people. One looks like a very fluffy cat with 4 arms, and another one is a little mouse in a male outfit. And as sadly neither Shrew or Launcher here, I cannot get them to guest star, but you will get to meet with those, and I am certain that they would direct you on to the rest of where everyone else is headed. And you will have the option to go join in the rest of the group, the giant mob that is headed towards the stage carriage if you want.
No.
Oh my god.
So now that you will have found your way to like the rest of the party. Meanwhile, okay, Zelda and
This is worse than being attacked.
Yep.
This hurts so much.
Yep. Zelda and Eos, you guys are running. You are running for a while. Thankfully, after a bit, you notice that like Natha is no longer chasing you, and you can't really see those dots in the distance anymore because it eventually fades off into darkness. But you guys keep going anyway because like what else are you meant to do? Stop? And you are traveling for what feels like ages and ages. But eventually, you start to notice that the carriages in the distance don't seem to go into as much of the distance as they did before. And Eos, you especially noticed this. That sound that you heard that indicated, hey, the engine might be in this direction, is getting louder. And eventually, you do reach the engine. You reach the end of where all the carriages are. And you jump down through a hatch. You climb down through the workings of it, and there's even less workings here, as you kind of just find your way into the middle of it pretty easily. And you guys do get a scene, and I'm not sure if you've seen the other image that I drew when we had another group of passengers in the engine. You guys are gonna see something a little bit different, though. One moment, let me find where it fucking is. My art folder takes forever to load because I've got a lot in it. So, while other passengers, when they arrived in the engine, they saw this. You guys don't quite see that. You see all the little levers on the side, all the dials and switches on the other. You see the bright glowing red of the engine firing. And that little automaton that is in the middle of that image isn't standing there waiting for you. All you can really see is a trail of gears and chunks of metal scattered across the engine floor. And if you follow that trail, you will see maybe the upper half and the head of this automaton lying against the far corner, just lifeless.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Someone's been here.
And
Someone has been here.
And I think that is where I want to leave you guys. I will have a talk with you about where you're going and what you're doing afterwards. Thank you for letting me do that for going in the wrong direction and letting me do that wonderful little revelation. Yeah, thank you for playing. Thank you for joining in on the Neverending Train. You guys are wonderful.
I miss my friends. I'm so sad.
You went in the wrong direction, but you also let me show that, yeah, Alex is kind of currently dead. Sorry, guys.
Rest in
Rip
peace,
Alex. It's not his fault. No,
It's not Alex's fault.
It's not their fault in the slightest. It's another fucker's fault. But don't worry. Everyone's going to get to beat him up next week.
Yay.
Excited.
Exciting.
Daddy Dip Squad.
And with that, I'm going to end this game. Does everyone want to say goodbye so I can end the recording?
This is wonderful. This has been great.
I hurt, but in a good way.
Oh, all right. Yeah.